Hello there, and welcome to my first impressions of Diablo II Resurrected. Now, I got to play the open beta. I don't have a lot of time to game these days. Life is getting in the way at the moment of my gaming, but I was determined to give Diablo a go because I played the original back in 1997. I played it on my PC. I was a PC gamer back then. It was pre-rendered, so it looked very nice. It was an isometric style game, top-down view. You ran around hack and slash killing enemies, and it had RPG elements. So you could level up and progress your character, get better weapons and gear. So there was definitely a grind there for people that like that sort of thing. It meant that Diablo had a surprising amount of depth to the gameplay for the time. But I remember picking it up, playing it on my PC and not really getting into it. At the time I was really into action games. I was playing Quake. I was a big id fanboy. I loved Doom 2 and Quake. And Quake was really ahead of the curve, ahead of the times. It was a full 3D game, full 3D environments and characters. Really fast paced action game. So to play Diablo, although it looked really nice and it was a dark fantasy game, I love dark fantasy, it just felt a bit slow paced compared to what I was playing at the time. And I just never really got into it. So I played it for a bit and then sort of dropped it and went back to Quake. I mean, I don't regret that. I had a fantastic time playing Quake, played that game to death. But it did mean that Diablo kind of slipped through the net for me. And then Diablo 2 came out around like 2000, and that was really well received. People were loving it. But again, I never really sort of got into it. I gave it a miss because I didn't get on with the first one. And then Diablo 3 came out 2012, around that time. I remember I was quite curious about it, but it wasn't well received. It had a few issues and again, that slipped through the net. But yeah, I think they're working on 4 now. So yeah, this game's been going a long time. So it's like 25, 26 years since the original. Oh gosh, I'm getting old. Oh my gosh. But yeah, I wanted to definitely give Diablo another try because I'm a different gamer now and I appreciate different things than I used to. I definitely appreciate having a wide variety of games in your game library to play. If you play the same sort of games all the time, gaming can get a bit stale for you. So definitely, if you're curious, give something new a try. So I thought, okay, I'm going to go back and give Diablo another go. This beta was sort of a golden opportunity to do it. The graphics have been redone in the game, so they've rebuilt the graphics, they've redone all the cutscenes as well, so they've modernised the game. It's still pre-rendered, so the 3D models, they just render them out as 2D sprites and then just tile map the game that way. It's a very clever way of getting loads of detail into the game without having to stress out the system. Back in like 1996, PCs weren't that powerful, so pre-rendering sprites and putting loads of detail in did make a lot of sense, and it made games look a lot more lush, a lot more detailed than they really were. It's a kind of a clever little trick that people used to do. Lots of games did this. Resident Evil did it with their backgrounds, and it allowed them to have loads and loads of polygons for the main characters in the game. But with Diablo, it was pure pre-rendered. Even the characters, they just rotate their characters like the 3D models and render out individual frames, individual sprites for each angle of rotation, and then just store all those in memory. The actual game logic still has to handle the third dimension, obviously, the physics. But because I was really into Quake, which was all real time, it seemed like a bit of a step back to me. So that kind of put me off a little bit. But still, I couldn't deny it was a beautiful looking game, and I really, really wanted to get into it. Yeah, I didn't give it enough time, to be fair, though. So now I thought, okay, I'm going to sit down with this open beta, let the game wash over me. The first thing that really captured me was the music. Yeah, the music is such a big part of this game. Just have a listen.
I'm a little jealous. I wish I could go off adventuring with you. Oh, by the way, I'm Charcy, the blacksmith here in camp.
Oh my gosh, the music is so good and it's so chilled, and so I felt actually really relaxed playing the game. I was just walking around fighting enemies. First of all, you just 1 or 2 hits, they die quite easily. Picking up stuff off the floor, items, checking to see whether they're better than what I had, going back to the base, putting things in the stash. The graphics have been redone, they're higher resolution now. cool thing, you can actually compare them with the original graphics just with the click of a button. I think on the PS4 you have to hold L2 and press the touchpad, and then it flips to the original graphics, and as you can see, wow, look how pixelated they are. I don't remember them being that pixelated. It just shows how things have moved forwards. So yeah, definitely play with the new graphics. But yeah, being able to do that, flip backwards and forwards, is really cool. And of course, the fans of the original, for them to be able to compare the two, that's a really nice touch. Blizzard done a good job with that. Now, the actual lighting itself looks a bit old school. Now, it's probably deliberate. Like, it looks like direct lighting. They don't seem to really have gone to town with baking in like global illumination or anything like that. And real-time lighting seems to be quite limited as well. I was expecting a bit more from the lighting. I mean, I hope with the PS5 and the Xbox Series X, they could actually do like a full real-time version. They don't have to pre-render anything. Those systems are powerful enough they could actually do everything in real time, and then they could go nuts with the lighting, especially with, like, say, Unreal 5 with lumens, and I mean, they could do some fantastic particle effects as well. So yeah, I'm hoping they do a version for the new consoles, but maybe they're concentrating on Diablo 4. They don't want to spend too much time on this, but they've done a fantastic job of it visually and audibly as well. Great audio. And you start off in sort of a little encampment, and you talk to people, and you get a mission, and you go off to do your mission. But actually knowing where to go, they give you sort of an idea. Oh yeah, go through this passage, find this passage somewhere, and it's very vague. So I was running around looking for this cave that I had to find, and I couldn't find it. And I remember I actually messaged a mate of mine who's a big Diablo fan and said, I can't even do the first mission. And he said to me, oh yeah, if you tap the touchpad on the PS4, you get a little map comes up top right of the screen. I was like, oh right, I didn't even realise. And that made a big difference, because there are markers on the map that help you sort of navigate. There wasn't like a pointer saying go this way, so you have to search around. It's a bit old school in that respect, and I do like that, but it does mean sometimes you do spend a lot of time wandering around trying to find where this mysterious dark passage is that leads you to the woods, or whatever it is that you need to do, or where you need to go. It's not always obvious, but yeah, that's just a minor thing really. But once you do find a new area, there is a little stone slab that allows you to teleport back to the main base. So there is like a fast transport system now, so you don't have to keep trekking backwards and forwards all over the place. I really enjoyed it. It's just really chilled to just walk around, collecting weapons, do a mission, hopefully get some better gear, level up. The grind's there. You've got to enjoy the grind. You've got to enjoy doing the same missions, killing the same sort of monsters over and over again. Obviously there's skill trees and abilities, and there's loads of builds you can do, different characters you can start the game as. Like, I must admit, I finally realised why so many people love this game. I'm really hyped now to actually give it a go, the full game. I'm actually interested in Diablo 3 now, and of course 4 as well, and I'm now interested in. So this goes to show, if you spend the time, if you give something another shot, you never know, you might actually get into it and enjoy it. It's just a relaxing game to play. I know that later on it probably gets chaotic, and with all the abilities, and you get hordes of monsters after you, that probably gets a bit manic. But my initial impressions are that I just really enjoyed it. It's a zen sort of experience for me, and yeah, I'm going to definitely keep playing Diablo from now on. Yeah, oh, the weather effects. Yeah, I just wanted to say the weather effects are really nice when it's raining and it gets dark as well, so there's sort of a day-night cycle. That's really nice. Yeah, and the intro sequence is fantastic. Like, the cinematics are incredible. Even if you don't like the game, it's worth watching those. Now, the end game is crazy in this game. You can just keep redoing dungeons time and time again, and getting better gear, trying out new builds. The depth to the game is crazy. 2 is really much loved by the Diablo fans, so I'm sure a lot of fans are going to be replaying this and loving it. And of course there is multiplayer as well, so you can play with your friends, you can invite people you know, or play with random people online. So there's a huge amount of replayability to this game, and it can keep you entertained for like weeks, months if you want it to. Okay, thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to give me a thumbs up and possibly subscribe if you haven't already. So thanks for watching, and goodbye for now.
I don't know. Why do things happen as they do in dreams? All I know is that when he beckoned, I had to follow him. And from that moment, we traveled together east. Always into the east.